UNIEC and Igbo leaders urged Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. Members of the United Igbo Elders Council worldwide have urged President Bola Tinubu to take a historic step of legacy by releasing the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from detention. The group called on President Tinubu to stop ignoring the calls for Kanu's release, insisting that doing so will continue to make peace to elude the Southeast and cause insecurity and economic stagnation in Igbo land and, by extension, Nigeria, whether anybody likes it or not. The group made the call through its Director General, Justice Alpha Ikpeama, after leading a delegation of the 7 UNIEC members to visit Kanu in detention in Abuja. The elders also took their solidarity visit to the Federal High Court last Friday, after which they visited the IPOB leader at the Department of State Services, DSS Detention Center, also in Abuja, where they meet with him for 2 hours. Other members of UNIEC delegation who visited Kanu were Maji General Collins Ruihakiri, RTD, Member, Board of Trustees, UNIEC, Professor Nick Ease, National Chairman, Police Affairs, Eze Fineface Amechi Ozuzu, National Vice President, Professor Obasi Igwe, Director Media and Publicity, Colonel Chief Alban Chaiki Obi, RTD, Chairman Security Affairs, and Lolo Louisa Okiki, National Patroness. UNIEC, in a statement signed by its Director General, Justice Alpha Ikpeama, on Monday after the visit, urged President Tinubu not to repeat the same mistakes made by former President Muhammadu Buhari, now late, who ignored several calls for Kanu's release. Ikpeama said Tinubu will not only make a historic legacy with Kanu's release, but will etch his name in the history book of Ndigbo as a president whose listening ears to the yearnings of Ndigbo brought peace and stability that has eluded Ndigbo since Kanu's detention. He recalled that former President Buhari, under whose administration Kanu was arrested and detained, received similar calls for the release of Mazi Kanu from across Nigeria, but ignored the calls even when many prominent Igbo leaders visited him to seek the release of the IPOB leader. He listed late elder statesman and First Republic Aviation Minister, Chief Mbazulike Amechi, as one of the prominent Igbo men who led other prominent Igbo people to Abuja and Abakaliki in Ebonyi State when he visited the state to appeal to former President Buhari to release Mazi Kanu, but he ignored them. UNIEC also recalled that late elder statesman, Chief Mbazulike Amechi personally, on his 93rd birthday, shortly before his death in 2022, while addressing journalists, made an appeal for the release of Mazi Kanu as his birthday gift and a last wish from former President Buhari, but the elder statesman's appeal was equally ignored by Buhari. The Igbo elders recalled that other prominent Nigerians and Igbo sons, who individually and collectively made the call for the release of Mazi Kanu, were Chief Edwin Clark, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, Chief George Obiazor, and Chief Chukwuemeka Ezaifi, all now demised, but their calls were equally ignored by the former president, who incidentally has joined them to the great beyond. The statement read, "We urge President Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The continuous neglect to the calls for the release of Mazi Kanu is something that will continue to make peace elude the Southeast and cause insecurity and economic stagnation in Igbo land and, by extension, Nigeria, whether anybody likes it or not. The economic loss that has affected Igbo land since the detention of Mazi Kanu is also taking its toll on the country's economy, so we urge President Tinubu to act fast and make historic legacy before it is too late. We firmly believe that President Tinubu's truly and just intervention and release of Mazi Kanu will stand as a historic legacy that will be more enduring than most other actions that may be associated with him as it concerns Ndigbo. We expressed satisfaction with the visit. We saw that Mazi Kanu is in high spirit, and we are happy that we visited him. UNIEC worldwide is earnestly calling on His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to facilitate the immediate, unconditional release, rehabilitation, and compensation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to bring peace and stability in southeastern Nigeria by extension. The United Igbo Elders Council Worldwide is an independent, non-sectarian body of Igbo elders dedicated to the welfare and advancement of the Igbo people within a united and just Nigeria.